Welcome back to the universe, where we explore ideas that connect us to ourselves, each other, and the world we find ourselves in. Today, we're diving into a topic that touches each and every single one of us: relationship currency. Now, what is relationship currency? It's not about material wealth, it's about the trust, the care, the value, the connection that we place with others. Think of it as a tangible richness that cultivate in our relationships through love, effort, and care. In today's fast-paced world, it's so easy for us to overlook those connections. And I hope by the end of this episode, you'll walk away with new perspectives and practical ways to deepen the bonds and connections you have with the people who matter to you most. Now let's break this down. Relationship currency is not something that you can hold in your hands, right? It is the trust that you earn, the loyalty that you feel, the bond that you build with someone over a period of time. Imagine a close friend that's been there for you in tough moments. The moments that they showed up, that they simply just checked in with you. Those are the moments that they were making deposits into your relationship bank. Relationship currency shows up in different ways and for different people, right? It's imagine a moment where you were sad, you were going through a rough day or a rough patch, and your friend just sends you a message to be like, hey, feel like I needed to reach out. And that is relationship currency. It's built of bonds and relationships that we built because of trust and loyalty and sharing. So, how do we build this currency? Now, hit me up if you think this is cliche, but trust and vulnerability really is a core principle for connection. But trust doesn't happen overnight, it's built over a long period of time. And this is where vulnerability comes in. Trust and vulnerability, they kind of go hand in hand. Being open about your dreams and your fears and your worries and the things that make you tick and ick. It's like saying, I trust you with my truth and I'm here for yours. Next principle is presence and attention. How often are we truly present? Put down the phone. In a world full of distractions, giving someone your full attention is a gift. Make eye contact. Listen, not to respond, but listen to hear the other person's point of view and to try and understand it. Mutual respect. This is valuing somebody for who they are, even if they are different from you. It's about finding common ground without forcing them to change. Empathy is a superpower. It's about putting yourself in a position of someone else to try and feel what they are feeling. It's a superpower that changes relationships, and the other person feels understood. Now, let's talk why this matters so much. When you invest in relationships, you create a support system that helps you just weather life's storms. And even just also helps you celebrate the milestones, the achievements, the joyful moments that you experience throughout your life. It's about the beauty of shared experiences. The other day, I had a conversation with someone, and we were chatting about friendships, and we made the observation that as you get older, you seem to think that, the cliche is that friends that you've had or you're going to meet in university or college or in your 20s, those are the friends that you're going to carry with you through life. And I had shared I really struggle in most cases to have longevity in my friendships. And this is a point where I also have to do a lot of introspection. And we spoke about the fact that why is that the case? Why do we have one or two real close friends that perhaps you even know since you were like a little kid? Doesn't matter when you pick up the phone, you can connect to them. It's as if picking up from where you left off. And then other friendships require a little bit more hard work. Now, granted, this is life. We evolve, as I've mentioned, we've changed, we move through different experiences in our life. I'm trying to figure out how to make relationships that are meaningful, that have longevity, that have reciprocity, so that it does not just feel like a one sided situation. Relationship currency is so important. It's on what we should be building our everyday life, because relationship currency is what carries us through this world. We are all connected, we are all one. If we are building strong, meaningful connections, we allow ourselves to be seen, but we also allow ourselves to see others. If you really had to sit back and evaluate the connections that you have in your life, how many of them would you say is meaningful connections, deep connections? How many of them would you say is fleeting connections? How many of them could you really say you have a strong relational or relationship currency with? Let me segue here. Relationship currency, it's an exchange. It's not just received and it's not just given. It's an exchange between people. And be mindful of that. As much as you are giving in relationship currency, you need to be receiving in the same way. And as much as you are giving, you also need to place yourself in a position where you are receiving. I've had relationships where, in my experience, when the person is going through something, I'm constantly showing up. I'm constantly trying to move with them through their process and be supportive. But in the same way, when I was going through something, it was not reciprocated. And that's where I spoke about reciprocity. It's important that you are finding the balance between how much you give as well as how much you receive in terms of relationship currency. You have to know your worth. You have to know that you are valued. You deserve the same type of love, mutual respect, empathy, and understanding as you give to others. And yes, everybody's process is different. When you're going through something that's really shaking up your world, everybody deals with that differently. Some people isolate, some people choose to reshift their whole lives, they choose to reshift their friendships. And that sometimes can be hard to be on the receiving end. But again, know your worth. Know when it's time for you to walk away. When you have reached out to a friend and it's no longer being reciprocated, then know your worth to know you can walk away from that. At this point, I just really want to share with you guys that doing these podcasts for me has truly been like therapy, like going to therapy. And I say that not as I am a therapist. And I share that with you because I want you to know that not all of us, especially if you're sitting here on the other side of this podcast, being like, I've got it all figured out. I know everything about relationship currency. No, in doing this podcast, I remind myself of my worth in terms of relationships, and I explore ways in which to reciprocate relationship currency to those who I value and those who I care about. And so I hope that this space eventually becomes a space where I hold myself accountable, but where we hold each other accountable. The challenge this week is I want you to take a moment to reflect on the relationships that you have in your life. Put them in a little who's who. Find the connections that you perhaps want to invest more in, and then also know your worth when it's time for you to step away. And as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with the thought that relationships are not perfect. They're not supposed to be perfection. They're supposed to be a process where we move through this world connected to other people, learning more about ourselves, and exchanging ideas, thoughts, beliefs, and ultimately just exchanging love and kindness. Think about your intention and the effort that you put into your connections. They reflect your values and they shape your life. Thank you for joining me. Next week, we'll continue to dive into topics that explore the beauty that is you. Until next time, take care, keep nurturing your connections, stay bright, stay happy, stay brave, and be you.